Hey, sports fans, PB&Z, Sports Chaos. Guess what? It is August 1st, which means we are very close to football. Matter of fact, we have a game Thursday night, Hall of Fame game. Pittsburgh plays the Cowboys in the Hall of Fame game on Thursday night. So we're going to talk a little AFC West. But before we get into that, we're going to talk a little MLB trade deadline because it went bonkers on Friday. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Bonkers. By the way, not only do we have a trade deadline, NBA had their draft. Cade Cunningham went number 1 from Oklahoma State. Jalen Green from the G League went number 2. But the surprise, PB, this guy from Florida State, Scotty Barnes, was not even a starter. He went 4th in the NBA. He was a 6th man on Florida State. I don't recall Florida State winning the NCAA championship. So how does a guy that's a 6th man become a 4th player in the NBA draft? I don't get it, but good for him. But of all the stuff, maybe the bigger news was the Lakers go out and get Russell Westbrook. Blows my mind. They did give up half their team. I think they gave up like 3 players and 3 draft picks, right? But they got Russell Westbrook to go with AD and LeBron James. It's between them and Brooklyn, I think, next year.
Yeah, until half their team plays only half their games, they go in the same friggin' load management mode that they did this year.
Right.
The playoffs, they won't be ready, and they'll get dumped in the first round, like Phoenix did to them.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're a bunch.
We'll see. I mean, it's interesting. I don't want the Lakers to win because I don't want to move ahead the Celtics with number 18. All right, trade deadline. We're going to talk about this. This thing just blew my mind. First of all, last week, Tampa Bay gets Nelson Cruz last week, and that was a big addition for them. Then the Padres went out and get all-star second baseman Adam Frazier from Pittsburgh. The rich get richer. And all of a sudden, the Cubs and Washington Nationals decide, hey, we won a World Series in 16 and 19. We don't need the team anymore. They trade 11 guys that were players on those World Series championships teams. It's nuts. A's get Sterling Marte. He's a pretty good player, along with Josh Harrison and Yan Gomes, the catcher for the Nats. So a lot of teams did stuff. But the Dodgers, speaking of LA,
they went all out.
I mean, Max Scherzer, that's good enough already. But you get Trey Turner, the all-star shortstop, and they already have an all-star shortstop with Corey Seager. So that's going to be interesting how that plays out. I believe Seager's going to stay at short, and Turner's going to go to second base. For now, Seager's in his last year of his contract, so he may not be back next year. We'll see. Speaking of all-star shortstops, Javier Baez from the Cubs, he goes to the Mets, who already have an all-star shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Where do these guys play? You're just going to keep bumping them around? I guess Lindor's going to stay at short. Baez is going to go to second. We'll see. But Giants go out. They stay out they try to keep up with the Dodgers. They get Chris Bryant. So that means the entire infield now for the Cubs is gone, right?
Nuts.
And the dreaded Darth Vader Yankees. They go out and they made, I thought, 2 huge moves. Anthony Rizzo, who the Sox were really looking to get, a first baseman, so they could play him more often than they would play Bobby Dahlbeck, excuse me. The Yankees go get him, and they get my favorite player from the Texas Rangers, Joey Gallo. No, it's Gallo. No, did you say Gallo? No, it's Gallo. Joey Gallo comes to New York. Good move for them. 2 left-handed hitters, because the Yankees are the worst left-handed hitting team in the league. So these 2 are studs.
And they need lefties there. I mean, that's a short porch in Yankee Stadium. It's always been, even the old Yankee Stadium, new Yankee Stadium. Just get left-handed hitters to hit it hard, and you're good to go. Getting Rizzo is a big deal. And he hit a home run in his first game, but it wasn't at Yankee Stadium, right? It was on the road, I think. Right. But still, he's gonna hit some dingers there. For sure.
And the Cubs, they just kept on dealing. They gave up old friend Craig Kimbrell. He went to the White Sox. That's a huge move for the White Sox, who are one of the 4 best teams in the league right now. So good for them. And our Red Sox, we do have to mention them. They went out and they got Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber's a good player. I like him. He's a left-handed hitter, and he plays left field. Hello, we have a left-handed guy that we traded Mookie Betts for that plays left field already. So Schwarber, they say, is now going to play a position he's never played in his entire professional career, first base potentially. I don't know. We'll see. Didn't see the logic in that move. Hopefully it pays off. I don't know. Toronto, by the way, did really good. They got Brad Hand, the closer from the Nationals, another Nat gone. And they got Jose Barrios, another All-Star. 10 All-Stars were traded. Jose Barrios, the All-Star pitcher from the Twins, is now on Toronto. So the American League East really went to bat and going to battle at this point in time. We'll see. In your mind, who do you think of all those transactions, who made out the best?
Probably, I mean, you got to say the Dodgers. I mean, if you,
Yeah.
if you believe Bob Scherzer and Turner, I mean, come on, Dodgers.
Can you believe now they're going to have Clayton Kershaw is probably going to be the third pitcher now in a playoff game? Can you imagine your pitching depth is so good that Clayton Kershaw is your third guy?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the Dodgers. All they got to do is get in, because if they get in, that's all they need. Once they get in, they're going to be dangerous. So,
all right, let's hit the football talk. Little AFC West. Let's start out in the Mile High City, Denver. What do you think about Denver this year, PB?
So Denver is interesting because Denver's the only team in the offseason that really didn't do much to really improve their team in areas that they needed to, I think, personally.
I would agree with you.
Number 9 pick overall, and they took Surtain the second.
Yep.
You know, to strengthen that backfield out of Alabama. Was their defensive backfield the weakest spot on their team? I'm not sure about that. You know, and that's what you do with your first round pick. And then their second round pick, they go out and get Javonte Williams. Granted, great running back out of North Carolina, but is that where they need to improve their team? Like, I just think they got good players, but they didn't get players that they needed to fill the holes that team has right now. So that's what disappointed me with Denver. I do have them finishing at 5-12 this year. You know, I think Vegas has them at 7.5. I don't see how they can get to 8 wins. I mean, to win that over, they'd have to win 8 games. Like, to me, that's an easy bet right now in Vegas. Take the under. They're not going to 7. If they get 7, I'd be surprised. I get them at 5-12.
I'm with you. 5-12, exactly. Same thing. I think they split with the Chargers. They split with Vegas. They get swept by KC. They probably beat the Jags. I think they beat Philly, Detroit, and that's it. Maybe they beat Cincinnati. I'm not sure they do though. So I see.
And even splitting with the Chargers is a stretch.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Chargers going to be improved, but again, they still. I think they're a year or two away. But 5-12.
Yeah.
All right. Let's stay with another team that's probably not going to fare that well. The one we just mentioned, Vegas.
Yeah, and I get Vegas at 5-12 too. I mean, I do like their first round pick, Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama to strengthen that offensive line.
Yep.
I think Derek Carr, given the right circumstances and situation, could be a potentially effective quarterback for them. So I'm on board with that move, but I don't think that's enough right now for them. And their schedule, you know, I mean, you're talking about games, you know, they open up Baltimore at Pittsburgh, Miami, and at the Chargers. I mean, that's easily an 0-4 start for them. Easily, right?
I get them 4-13.
Yeah. Oh, you have even worse. All right.
I do.
So I'll give them
and I'll tell you what, I think the only upside for them is, you know, they're gonna, like I said before, they'll split with the Chargers. I think they'll split with Denver. I bet they beat Philly. I think they beat Cincy because I believe Cincy has to go there. And then maybe the Giants and maybe Chicago. I don't know because I'm not sold in Chicago yet. I know you are, but I'm not. But I think these guys are 4-13 and 5-12 at best.
All right, so here it is. PB&Z are telling you right now, if you want to make money this year in the NFL, the under/over on Vegas is 8 in Vegas. Take the freaking under. And the under/over on Denver is 7.5. Take the under. Those 2 bets right now are money. Worst case scenario, you'll split and you'll get your money back, but there's a good chance you'll win both those bets and you're walking home with some cash.
I'm with you. All right, let's talk with the Chargers. You happen to like the Chargers. I think they're a year away still. What do you think they do?
Yeah, I mean, Herbert was impressive last year.
He's the real deal. He's the real deal.
He's the real deal. And then what did they do? They got out and got Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle on Northwest, and one of the top 2 or 3 linemen behind Penei Sewell in the draft. I think they did a good there. All around, I think this team is good. I mean, they got a good defense, good offense. They're balanced. I think they're committed to their offensive line. They're committed to their running game. They drafted a couple rookies, Larry Roundtree, one of those rookies to keep an eye on this year. just this team could be scary. They're not going to compete for the division lead with Kansas City, but I think they'll compete for a wild card though. I really think they're going to be in there. I got them at 10-7 with their record, and I think 10-7 record in the AFC this year is going to be right on the cusp of a wild card spot with the 7 teams getting in.
Whoa! All right, I got them 8-9.
Wow! All right.
I got 2 surprise wins though for them. I got them going week 1 and beating Washington at Washington, and week 2 beating the Cowboys, coming out 2-0 against the NFC East.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, I think they swept the NFC East. I think they beat Philly, and I think they beat the Giants as well.
Wow. Wow.
And the other game they got Houston, who's not going to be that good this year. So that's a gimme for them. If they can beat, so to your point, if you see them at 10, then they have to beat KC one of those games, I think.
Which they're capable of doing. That's
Sure.
the game. They could win that home game, but all right, that's we're off by a couple games there, but okay.
All right, let's talk about the monster in the room, Kansas City. You and I both thought.
I mean, the Chiefs clearly the best team in the AFC.
We thought after the Super Bowl, we said these guys are coming down to earth because they looked horrendous. The offensive line was horrendous, and then they went out and made some unbelievable moves, including getting Zeus Orlando Brown to play left tackle. They completely rebuilt their O-line.
They did. I mean, they gave away a first, a second, and a fourth to get Orlando Brown. So big move there, right, from Baltimore. And then they also, in the second round, I think they did pretty good in getting Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma.
Yes.
Right? I mean, we had him potentially going late in the first round. They get him in the second round. So they did go out and do some things to get that offensive line. I mean, clearly their offensive line is what hindered that team last year and made them lose the Super Bowl. So, but let's face it, this team, without a doubt, best offense in football, best quarterback in the NFL by far right now, right? In Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill, arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL. CEH is coming back off of an injury, and I think he could really be a potential, top 5, 6, 7, 8 running back in the league. This team's a real deal. And Kelsey, I mean, this team is just unstoppable in every way. They really are. So I got them finishing 15-2. I mean, this too. Powerhouse. You got 15-2 as well. Yeah. I mean, this team is going to run through the AFC. Will they run into some challenge in the playoffs and potentially in the Super Bowl if they have to face Tampa Bay again? Yes, of course. But I got this team rocking in the AFC this year.
I would say their challenge games are going to be, they get the Browns. I think it's week 1, if I'm not mistaken. They go to Baltimore. They have Buffalo, but at Kansas City. They go to Tennessee. They have Green Bay.
Been a thorn in their side. Tennessee's been a thorn in their side.
Right. They got to go to Green Bay. And as we know, Rodgers is coming back. He is going to play. So everything we talked about the NFC Central or North last week has all changed because Rodgers is back. And Dallas will give him a game. I think Dallas will give him a game, but what will happen is Dallas will lose to them by 40-30. They'll both score. Dallas will score on them, but they'll score on Dallas at will. So, but those are the tough games. And do they split maybe with the Chargers? Because they won't split with the other 2 teams. I know the Raiders got them last year, right? It ain't happening again this year. They will not let that happen.
No, and Denver certainly not. Yeah, right. The only team that has a chance of beating them is the Chargers. They're 5-1 or 6-0 in their division. They're 15-2 overall. It's not a stretch. Under/over is 12 on the Chiefs. Take that over because worst case scenario, they're gonna think about that. It's 12, Russ. Put that down in Vegas. I mean, worst case scenario, you're gonna split because they're gonna win 12. They're not going 11 and what? You have to go 11-6. That team's not going 11-6 unless Mahomes goes down in week 1. That team's not going 11-6.
Right.
Like, put some money on KC.
And to your point, until they get to the playoffs, they really won't be challenged. But they are playing, again, at Baltimore, home with Buffalo, at Tennessee. Those 3 are kind of in the middle of the schedule. Those are the contenders in the AFC probably, along with the Dolphins and maybe the Pats. But those are the 4 teams right there: Buffalo, Baltimore.
Well, and the scary thing is if they win all those games, they're potentially a 16-0 team.
17.
I mean, 17-0.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Everybody's talking about, hey, can the Bucks run the table? They probably could. They get everybody coming back, but secretly, Casey's going, oh, hello, don't forget about us. Don't sleep on us, right? So
I
we'll see. All right, man. All right.
agree.
So you got KC 50. I think we're pretty much close on everything but the Chargers. We had everybody exact except for the Chargers. You got them 2 wins better. I hope the Chargers are 2 wins better than what I got them picked, but we'll see. We'll see. I love Justin Herbert, man. Supposedly Mike Greenberg from Get Up has him as his MVP pick.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
I
all right,
like
who do you want to do next week?
We got to go back to the NFC. We got to have to either do, what have we done so far there? We did the North and the West. So we got to do either the East or the South.
We'll do the NFC least.
The least? Oh, okay. We're going to go the least. We're going to pick up the Cowboys, these Cowboys.
Since we just bashed them and said San Diego's going to sweep them, the LA Chargers, I'm sorry, going to sweep the NFC East this year. All right, man. Good one. I'll chat with you later. Take care.
I do.